Another reading video, how exciting. Good morning. I'm filming with my front camera because I haven't got my watch to see what the screen looks like, so all I can see is myself and I hate it. So I'm gonna do my best with this. I got bangs cut in and I regret it because one is lower than the other with my curlers, so I'm just gonna grow them out. But anyway, so this video is going to be a quarterly reading wrap-up video. I love watching these on YouTube, so I feel like anybody who's watching this might find their next read, might find their next favourite book, and might add some to their TBR. I'll let you know the star rating, I'll let you know when I read them, and I'll let you know how I read them as well. Audiobook, physical book, half and half. I'm really excited for this, so let's get into it. Ignore my dismantled desk behind me, we're literally moving right now. Anyway, going straight into it. In January, I read/listened to 13 books, which sounds like so many, but January was a very cold and wet month, so I was inside a lot, and also while working I was listening to a lot of audiobooks, so that's why the number is up a lot. I'm not some crazy reader. So to start, I read Gallant by V.E. Schwab. I think I started this in December and then I went into January, so it counted as a January read. I rated this 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I love V.E. Schwab's writing. It's just incredible the way she can really paint a picture. I just really enjoyed it. So yeah, my first book of the year was a V.E. Schwab book. Next one I listened to, We Will Prescribe You a Cat. I loved this one. It was so quirky. It was so cute. I rated this one 3.5 stars. I think because it is a cozy read. It's nothing insane. It wasn't jaw-dropping. It wasn't absolutely crazy. And the writing, because it's not in its original language, it's not the most literary, incredible book I've ever read, but that does not mean it's bad. It is not bad at all. It's just translated and it's cozy and it's supposed to be an easy listen or a simple read, but I really enjoyed the story. It was so cute. If I remember rightly, it's about these people who are struggling in life basically, and they go to this special therapist or doctor, and they prescribe them a cat. I think it's a different cat each time. In the picture there's one cat in this cover, but I'm pretty sure the cover that I was using to listen was like 3 different cats, so it's a different scenario. I think there were 3 of them. Anyway, I'm butchering this. I'm going to continue on. It was a cute book, 3.5 stars. Next was, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Next was People Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. I've read one Emily Henry book before, I think, and it's not my favourite genre. It's very YA. I don't really like romance, especially when it's just romance, because it's just like, this is all my opinion as well. It's perfectly okay if you like it, but I don't really like, oh, I went on TikTok and then did this. Like, I read to escape. So that's why I liked Romantasy, because it had fantasy elements to make it different to our world. But anyway, I read this because I saw there was a movie coming out, and I rated the book 3.5 stars. It was okay, in my opinion, and for my taste as well. I was like, okay, cute. But then the movie, I cried. Like, I actually really enjoyed it. It made me want to read more Emily Henry books, to forget about my taste and the things that I criticize about them or overthink, and just to enjoy quirky romance books. Next was If We Were Villains. I read this, this is still January. I loved this so much. It was incredible. I think I've talked about this in my favourite books video. I rated it 5 star, obviously. It's by ML Rio, and I never heard of this author before, but I'd heard of someone talking about If We Were Villains, so I gave it a try, and it was just so captivating, and the writing was just so good. It's about these students who go to a university which is just for Shakespeare studies, and I think the blurb says they blur the line between the Shakespeare world and the real world. There is a murder mystery, you get really attached to the characters, it's dark, it's twisted, and it made me really want to read Shakespeare. Next one was The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I rated this a 3.5 stars. The book is in a diary format, which is quite cute, and I also read this because Luke's coming. Come in.
Sorry. They
Bye, Luke. So I'd watched the movie before when I was a teenager, and I loved it. It was so comforting. It has Emma Watson in it and the main character. I'm really bad with the actor's name. Anyway, this book was okay, in my opinion. I feel like if I read it before the movie or as a teenager, I would have loved it even more. The next is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I'm pretty sure I listened to this while working because I couldn't find the book in the library or on the Libby app. And then while I was like near the end, it became available on Libby, and I was like, really? So I read like the last 20% or something, but I just counted it as an audiobook, I think. I'll correct myself on the screen if I'm wrong. I rated this a 4.5 stars. It wasn't quite a 5-star, but all of V.E. Schwab's books are going to be over 4 stars because they're just incredible. This one was about a boy called Victor, and he goes to school with Eli. And in my favourite books video, I think I mentioned this one, I said that Eli and Victor weren't best friends, but I think they were. Listening to it sometimes isn't the best way for me to consume a book because I'm working, I'm focusing on something else, and sometimes I'll zone out and be like, wait, what did they just say? So this is definitely one of those books that I want to reread with my eyes and to catch up on things that I may have missed. But overall, I love the story. It was so dark. It kind of reminded me of Stephen King. I love V.E. Schwab, so don't need to say any more. Next, I listened to Tales from the Cafe. It is like the second or third book in the Before the Coffee Gets Cold series, translated from Japanese. I rated it 3-star. Again, it's just some cozy, cute stories. There's like multiple of them in the book about this cafe where you sit in a specific chair, and before the coffee gets cold that you're served, you go to the future or the past. Why have I forgotten which one? And it talks about regrets, it talks about life lessons. It's so cute, it's so meaningful. And I loved it so much that the next one I listened to was Before Your Memory Fades. That was a 4.5 star. I loved that one a little bit more than the last one. I think I almost cried at one of the stories. So I really recommend that little series. I still have 2 of them to go, but I can't find them anywhere. I'm hoping a Canadian library has them because that would be great. The next, why did I say it like that? The next was Wuthering Heights. I saw that a movie was coming out, and I also wanted to read classics. So this just need to fix my hair. I loved this book, and I think about it almost all the time. I just love how you hate every character, and it's so dark, it's so gothic, it's so twisted, and I definitely preferred the book to the movie. I think don't even need to go into that. I will say though, I did like the twisted elements of the movie, and I liked the main song that always plays on the radio. That was a 4-star from me, but I also want to read it again. Next was Macbeth. I gave that 5-star because it's Macbeth. I loved it. I studied it at school, not of my own choice, just in an English class. So it reminded me of the play that we did in like year 10 or something. So that was fun. And it was also cool because of If We Were Villains. So that was a 5-star. And then I read Bunny's Story. This is all still January. I'm also still forgetting to say how I read these, so I'll keep putting it on the screen. Pretty sure I read and listened to this half and half. In another reading video, I think it was showing my fable, I said that I couldn't remember reading it, but afterwards I remembered I was reading it like in bed in the evening, so it was definitely like a half and half read and listen. Again, I read this / listened to this because of the movie that's going to come out, and I found it really cute and really quirky, really sweet, funny, and I loved the characters. So it's a 4-star. It's not a 5-star because it's not my favourite genre, but I enjoyed it. And then I read The Correspondent by Virginia Evans. This was a 4-star for me. I really didn't like the main character because some of the things that she said and some of the ways she behaved, I just thought it was so stubborn and annoying and rude. But I feel like that might be the point. She's an older woman who is retired, I believe, and her children are grown up, they've moved away, and she writes letters to people, and you just follow along her journey, finding things out about herself. I rated it 4-star. I did love it. I didn't cry or anything, but I did love it. But I think the only thing is she really annoyed me sometimes, but that could also be the point. I don't know. His and Hers by Alice Feeney, 3.5 stars. I listened to this while working because the TV show looked really intriguing, and Shane from The Walking Dead was in it. So I was like, I'll listen to it while working because I like to read the book before a movie or an adaptation. I don't really like thrillers most of the time, purely because a lot of them are quite the same. But then when I do read one, it's really fast paced and I really enjoy it. So this, I really enjoyed. It was very different, but also quite the same as other thrillers that I have read. And then next was Hamlet. I gave this a 5-star because it is such a classic and I really enjoyed it. It was really good. I could understand what was going on, which was also good. Next was Dark Matter, 4 stars. I read this and I really enjoyed it. It was so mind-bending, so confusing, made me question everything about reality. And I think I spoke about this in a previous video, so I won't elaborate too much. I'm really excited to watch the series. It's on Apple TV, so I think we're gonna wait until we're settled in Canada before we start watching it, but it was really good. Oh, we're into February now. I forgot to check the dates. So these are my February reads. Dark Matter was the first one. Next is Normal People, 5 stars. I listened to this and I want to read it physically because it was just really thought-provoking and kind of dark, and there were just some things that people get themselves into. I don't really know how to explain it. This is either they're not normal, and that's okay. They're not normal. They have struggles. That is a theory. Or they are normal people. Normal people struggle. Normal people have difficulties. Normal people are a bit odd. And I think that's the point. But anyway, I don't know. It was really good. And then I watched the series and I loved it. Really, really good adaptation. Next is Little Women. I gave this a 3-star. I'm sorry. I found this so boring. Maybe I wasn't in the right mood. Maybe I didn't read it correctly. It's a classic, so I don't know. I'm glad that I read it because I want to read classics to know what people are talking about when they talk about them and when they reference them. And I tried to read the film. I didn't really like that either. So unfortunately, the movie's a DNF, but I did read / listen to the book, but it wasn't my favorite. Next is Strange Houses by Uketsu. Oh my god, this was just so good. I read it in one evening. Like, I could not put it down. Like, when people say, oh my god, I couldn't put it down, I'm like, yeah, whatever, but I literally couldn't put it down. So good, so captivating, so thrilling, so creepy. I was just pulled in the entire time, just wanting to know what happens. I rated it a 4.5 star. It wasn't quite a 5, but it was really good. And then the next was, I wanted an audiobook while working, so I found The Things You Can See Only When You Slow Down, and I rated that a 1.5 star. Only because I thought it was going to be a therapeutic, thought-provoking audiobook about slowing down in life and noticing things, because that's something that I try and practice daily. But it wasn't really that kind of vibe. It was more, I don't know, I just thought the way that they were telling the message just wasn't what I was looking for. So unfortunately, a 1.5 star. And then I finally got to Hamlet, and I rated this a 5 star. So good. I just really enjoyed reading this, and the writing was just beautiful. Classic level writing. It was gorgeous, and I loved the story as well. It was so just captivating, and I just loved it. And I loved the hints at Shakespeare. They never once mentioned that Shakespeare is the father and things like that. It was really, really good. I can't wait to watch the movie. And then next was The Great Gatsby. I rated this a 3 star. It was a classic literature book, and I think I half read, half listened to this one. Or maybe I just listened to it. No, I think I half read, half listened. I don't know, I'll put it on the screen. It wasn't my favourite classic book. I found it a little bit, it wasn't really boring, but it just wasn't really captivating. I don't really know. And now we're into March. In March, I read / listened to 6 books. Again, things are slowing down because of my move, so the number's quite lower. Also, the month hasn't ended yet. But now it is March 25th, and this is what I have read / listened to this month so far. First is A Man Called Ove by Frederick Bachman. I rated this a 3.5 star. Thinking back though, I might raise the rating because I really enjoyed it. I really loved it. He was really annoying at the start. He, like the old man in the book, he was so grumpy and rude, but as the book continued, his heart softens and you find out more about him. I don't know, it's a difficult way to try and decide if somebody's rude. Sometimes there's a reason for it, but then also they're just rude. So I don't really know how to feel about that analogy, but the book itself, it reminded me of Up. It was really enjoyable. Next was Vengeful by V.E. Schwab, which is the sequel to Vicious by V.E. Schwab. So this reminded me a bit of the audiobook previously. I listened to this one too. And this is the one that made me realise that Eli and Victor were actually friends. But like I said listening is so different to reading for me. So I want to get these 2 books from a library or something and read them again and find anything that I may have missed out. I rated this one a 4.5 star because it's V.E. Schwab. It was really, really good. It reminded me of Stephen King again. Next was Dracula. I read this one and then listened to like the ending of it because it got a bit... I just hate saying classic books are boring. Like, I judge myself saying that. It wasn't boring. It's just, it dragged on a little bit, but that is just this author's style of writing and it's a classic literature book. So I feel like that is just something that goes hand in hand. I rated it a 3.5 star. I feel like it should be a 5. No, not a 5, a 4 because of the fame the book has. Like, in the time it was new, it was all these new analogies about vampires, and then it shaped what vampires are today with their no reflection, the garlic. So for that, it was a really interesting book to read, very famous, and I'm glad to have read it, and I want to watch the movie. Next was The Year of Less. This was an audiobook I listened to while working and I rated it a 5 star. It ended up being a memoir and people in the reviews didn't like that, but I didn't mind. I really liked the author's journey and how she opened up about everything and the lessons that she learned, and also because we just went backpacking and now we're moving to another country. We are living very minimally. Like these jeans, for example, I've worn these jeans probably twice a week for the last 9 months. I do wash them, but you know what I mean? Like, me before traveling could never. Like, I had so many clothes, I would shop every week. And yeah, it was just a very insightful audiobook to listen to and I really related to it. And even though I don't have to when we move into our flat in Canada, I feel like I'm going to continue this minimalistic lifestyle. And then I actually have this one, Mr. Mercedes by Stephen King. This is still borrowed from the library, that's why I'm able to hold it. Sorry, I just really like holding books. I think it's because I watch a lot of booktubers, so it's like... Anyway, this book was a 5 star. It was incredible. I read the entire thing, so no audiobook, and I finished it yesterday. So good. I feel like this is up there with The Shining, in my opinion. Also like up there with not Dr. Sleep. That too, but I was thinking of Pet Sematary. This just was so chilling. It was eerie, it was gross, it was gory, it was skin crawling, is that what you say? Anyway, this is really, really good, and I think there's a series on Netflix, so we're definitely gonna watch that. Next is a book that I literally read yesterday evening, again, Strange Pictures by Uketsu. 5 stars. Better than Strange Houses somehow. Look, I read this all in one evening. It was just so captivating, so chilling, so thrilling, fast-paced, mysterious. I just really wanted to find out more and more and more. I feel like if I ever collect my favourite books, this will be one of them on my bookshelf. I think he has another one, Uketsu that is, called Strange Buildings, so I'm definitely going to try that out. So these 2 are 2 books that I most recently read. And that is it for my January, February and March reads. March so far. I actually have We Will Prescribe You Another Cat as an audiobook ready for my flight, and I also have one DNF which was in, I feel like it was February, but I'll correct myself if that's wrong, which was Ready Player One. I just really didn't agree with the writing. It didn't sit with me, not in like it sounds like I have a disagreement like politically or something. I mean like the style. It was a lot of showing. No, it was a lot of telling rather than showing, just telling me and info dumping. And I did get 40% through before I DNF'd, so I have reverted it to a soft DNF. I've re-got it from the Libby app and I'm going to read the second half on the plane. So we will see. If I hate it, I don't know, I just want to know what happens in the book and I can't stop thinking about it, so I'm giving it a second chance. So that is potentially the rest of March if I complete those. This was really fun. Thank you so much for watching this. I'm going to continue with these reading books. They're really fun. I have so many ideas too, so look forward to those. And yeah, I just love reading, so I hope anyone who watches this loves reading too. Feel free to let me know what your reads were and if you read any of the books that I've read and what you thought of them, if you agreed, if you disagreed with my rating. I'm going to carry on with my move now. I'm probably going to edit this when I'm in Canada, so by the time you see this, I'll be there and I'm really excited. So yeah, I don't know how to end a video. Bye.